Well, good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again. In today's video we're out in the Lake District and we're going to do a circular walk around the shores of Buttermere, and the conditions today are looking really nice on the way in, the drive in. The fog and mist was kind of quite thick and it's starting to lift now, but it is sort of remaining around the tops of the fells here, so it's providing some really nice conditions as the sun breaks through. I've just set up like a composition here, a really nice simple composition with this old sort of rickety fence, so heading off into the sort of lake there. And it's a kind of a classic shot of the sort of smooth out water fence going into the lake and then the nice fells in the background. But I thought I'd make a really nice first shot of the day, and yeah, so I've taken a single framed image as well, and also a 5-shot panorama just to try and get that wider scene in. So I'll put both those on screen for you in a minute, and once we've sort of finished here, we're going to set off and start walking around the shores of Buttermere. And like I say, we're just going to get some really nice conditions today. I think it's looking really good. I've already seen some sort of shafts of light coming through and all that kind of stuff, so it should look really good as we're walking around. So I'll put those images on screen for you now, and I'll put you back on once we get a little bit further around and show you what compositions I've got from the shores on the other side there. Okay, so I'm set up for my second composition of the morning, and I found this really nice little scene just right on the shores here, and I found some nice rocks and grass in the foreground here, just using them as like a bit of a curve going up into the sort of background there, leading up to the sort of cloudy misty fells in the background. I think it makes a really nice bit of interesting foreground here, sort of leading you through the image. It kind of grabs you, takes you through the image and leads you up to that kind of like dramatic sky in the background there. So yeah, it looks really nice. This again, I've gone for the long exposure just to try and smooth out the water, give it a little bit more of a simplistic look, and obviously less distracting with the sort of ripples in the water at the moment. And it's also creating a nice effect around the stones and around the grass as well, because it's moving the grass a little bit, so it's kind of making that sort of ethereal feel to the foreground. And yeah, it's looking pretty good, so I'll put that on screen for you now, and we're going to carry on walking along the shores here and seeing what other compositions we can come up with. As you can see there, I've got my next composition set up. We're just having a bit of lunch now, so I thought I'd just have a go at setting something up. And we've got using these two sort of boulders just here in the foreground that's sticking out of the water. Again, just smoothing out that water as it sort of goes through to the background there, the corrie in the background. Makes a nice backdrop, this, the nice curved sort of valley there. And the line of trees just in the foreground, or the mid-ground, sorry, that's looking pretty nice as well. So just a nice little simple composition. It's probably been shot 1,000 times this, but I think it makes a nice shot just to capture the scene where we are now. Okay, so I've come up with the final shot of the day here, and I think it's going to be one of my favourite ones, this. And we've got this big old tree trunk here, which is all twisted and gnarly, but one of its branches is just in the foreground here, and that's kind of pointing out into the direction of the sort of fells in the background, into the quarry there. And just using that basically as a foreground element to point you in through the scene, up across the lake, and then obviously up to the clouds and moody sort of fells in the background there. So that's looking really nice. I've got the polarizer on just to try and bring out some of the colour and take off the sheen, and I've also got the ND filter on again just to try and smooth out that water. Taking quite a lot of different exposures here. I'm bracketing the shot as well because it's quite bright in the sky, and there's quite a lot of shadow detail in the trunk itself. And I'm also taking some really fast shutter speeds, sort of 1/250th of a second, just to try and capture the sort of grasses in the foreground here. It's quite windy, so I want to make them as sharp as possible, but I'm going to obviously blend those with the longer exposure just to try and smooth out that water and pick out the bits that I want of the image. I'll blend them all together, and if it turns out nicely I'll put that on screen for you now. Then we're going to head on and just finish this walk and head into the village. Okay, so I'm going to end the video there. Really hope you enjoyed this week's video. That image at the end there is definitely my favourite. I like to have a good foreground element in my images. I think that old branch made a really nice subject. So if you have enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to hit the like and share button, and leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. It's always good to hear from you guys. And until the next one, bye for now.